James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guest will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore them or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guests will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth.
Yeah. Dr. James J.C. Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life. Yeah.
Welcome to the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and wow, I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. We're starting out Monday, and I tell you what, Michelle and I are in California this week. And I went to Texas last week, and it was hot, like 100, maybe 105 sometimes. But it's cozy in California, and we're glad to be able to get away for a little bit. Even though it's not that long. How you doing, Dr. Cooley? How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, James. How are you?
I am doing just fine. I'm excited about this guest. I'm excited about the show because I think certain things need to be talked about and need to be heard, and people need to take heed because you never know what could happen to one, and you have to be prepared, or you prepare yourself prior to certain things happening. So I'm excited about the guests that we got on today. And how's your day been going so far?
It's been doing good. Busy, working, taking care of a whole bunch of stuff. But I'm glad to be back in California. And I'm glad we have this amazing guest on the show today.
Well, I tell you, I'm excited about this guest. And I tell you, whichever platform that you're watching us on, whether it's E36 Television, Transfer TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Rumble, and over 84 other platforms. Welcome to the show. If you want to be part of this discussion, all you have to do is just go to the comments on the platform that you're watching us on and ask any questions that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. Michelle, can you do the honors by introducing the title of the show, the purpose of the show, and introduce this absolutely fantastic guest?
Almost definitely. So the title of today's show is called Help Me Help You. And we're having a conversation with Dr. Selené Jo Ward. She is an entrepreneur, CEO of S S Exquisite Dzynes and the Global Experience Travel Agency. She's going to talk about health checkups and researching the doctors that you select, overcoming fear and aftercare, basically post-care. So meet Dr. Selené Jo Ward, again, a visionary entrepreneur. She's originally from Brooklyn, New York. She graduated John Dewey High School and studied art and technology at the New York Institute of Technology. With a diverse background, Dr. Ward spent 15 years as a correction officer, honing her skills in observation and problem solving. She's also a survivor of domestic violence and breast cancer, overcoming these challenges with resilience and strength. Despite private battles, she continued to serve others with positivity and determination. Her experiences fueled her courage to turn adversity into victory, inspiring her to pursue her passions and lead with purpose. Dr. Ward's journey exemplifies resilience, courage, and the power of transforming challenges into growth. Please welcome to the show Dr. Selené Jo Ward.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. It's an honor. Is my volume too loud?
No, but you might want to pull back a little bit because your head is off the camera.
Okay, here I am.
Yes,
yes.
that's perfect.
That's perfect. Welcome to
How
the
are
show.
you? How are the both of you?
We are doing just fine. I had to get away from Texas for a little bit because it's kind of got a little hot up there.
I'm sure. I am
So,
sure.
I know that you're in New York, Brooklyn, I believe.
Yes, yes, sir. Brooklyn,
And
New York.
you all was experiencing some rough weather for a few days.
This weather here, and then yesterday, I think yesterday or the day before, I believe they had a earthquake.
What? In New York?
It started in Jersey, but it reached New York. So I'm like, I don't even know how to call it anymore.
So I tell you, it's a pleasure having you on the show. Can you tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit more about you, where you grew up, what make you click, why you're so passionate about the things that you do?
Well, I had an experience. I thought that I had a mosquito bite on my breast, on my right breast, and it was a little knot. I didn't pay it any mind, and I figured, put a little alcohol on it, it'll go away. And as time passed, it didn't go away, and it got thicker, and it got a little bit bigger. So I said, let me check out and see what it might be. I went to one of the doctors that I trusted, and after him checking it out, he sent me to a specialist. So I was really, really nervous, and I just went flying to the specialist, and I'm sitting there, and I'm wanting to hear just about anything that would get me off the hook of even dealing with this stuff. He examined me, and when he felt the knot, he said, you know what? Don't worry about this. I do this all the time. I know you might be worried about it, but don't worry about it. I'm going to biopsy it for you anyway. But don't worry about it, thing. It's nothing to worry about. And I can't tell you how bad I wanted to hear that. So we scheduled the surgery. We had the surgery. And I could not wait to get back into that office. And I'm sitting there in the office, and I'm smiling, and he's not. And he tells me that he made a mistake, and that I do have breast cancer, and that he didn't get it all, and I'm going to have to go back in for another surgery.
Wow. That had to be extremely tough.
It was crazy because out of all the questions in my head, the one thing I should have did that I did not do was write down what I was thinking, because once I got in front of him, I drew a blank. I drew an absolute blank. And I just wish I had asked more questions. And I'm like, I was stuck. That's why I started bringing someone with me, because I was really stuck.
Danny, you might want to pull back a little bit.
I'm sorry about that.
A little bit more if you can. That's better.
Okay.
So you drew a blank, and how long was you days before you had to sit back and think about this and say, okay, what do I do?
I really didn't. I didn't have a lot of time, because I'm like, I figured the longer I take, the more time it'll have to spread. I didn't know what the outcome might turn into. It might be worse than where I was. So I said, okay, you know what, schedule surgery. Let's go back in and let you clear these margins, and let's get it over with. So that's what we did. We went back in for surgery number 2, and came back out with the same results. I am so sorry. I did not clear your margins. I thought I had it.
Wow. At that stage,
I was truly dumbfounded. I was really dumbfounded. And I was kind of angry with myself, because in the beginning, my first thought was to go to a whole nother place, and all they do is deal with cancer. And for whatever reason, I got turned around. I'm like, oh, but this is a specialist. So I can't go wrong. And unfortunately, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, you went wrong. So I finally went to get another opinion from the place, Sloan Kettering, where I should have went in the first place. And when they examined me, they couldn't even understand why I was cut the way I was. And like, they even looked up, they said, well, who is the specialist you went to? Only to find out it was not a specialist. He was a general surgeon, just a general surgeon. And that's all he was.
Who's referred you to him as a specialist?
My gynecologist at the time referred me to him because that's who I went to and asked him to give me an exam to see if it felt like it was something that needed to be checked.
Did you go back and confront that person?
After I finally went through the third surgery at Sloan Kettering, then I had to get another surgery done for the reconstruction. I was so tired after all these surgeries. Everybody kept asking me, did you go and, are you going to go and you're going to sue this guy? I was shook at that point. I really was shook. And the only thing I was doing, praying every day, is that God kept me here. And that's all I could think about.
God always take care of us. And this story, as our viewers, just like I told you, just need to be heard, because as what the Dr. Selena is talking about right here, any little signs need to be checked out early and thoroughly. So.
Yes. Thoroughly. Take a book with you. Write it down. Some things are going to come into your head on your way to the appointment. Some might pop up while you're there. Just write it down. Put it on paper. Or tell whoever's going with you. Make sure somebody's going with you. Ask out and look up look up your doctor.
You got to
look up your doctor. You got to look up your doctor. I was just so spazzed out in my head and wormy, and instead of just praying and leaving where I prayed it, I just let the best of it get to me. And I'm like, I really was in panic mode. And had I knew the proper things to do and had information ahead of me, and maybe I would have treated it different or went about it differently. But when you don't know until you do.
You're absolutely right. So, Dr. Selena, we're going to take a station break, but we're going to come back and we're going to talk about this a lot more. So, if you want to be part of this great conversation, all you have to do is go to the platform, the comments that you're watching us on, ask any questions that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
The future is here.
Now is the time to pursue the greatness in you. Welcome to Viridian Christian University, where faith meets future. We are a fully accredited, 100% online Christian university. We offer bachelor's degree, master's and doctorate degree programs, built for students like you. Affordable tuitions, 30+ degree programs, 100% online and flexible. Integrating faith with learning. Study from anywhere at your pace. At VCU, we do not just prepare you for a degree. We prepare you for purpose. Discover who you are. Grow in faith. And build a future that impacts the world.
Are you ready to start your journey today?
Visit www.viridianchristianuniversity.com.
Apply today and be among the global leaders.
Hi, Hi, I'm Dr. Michelle Cooley. I've heard so many powerful stories from women who survived heart disease because they took action in time. But I've also heard stories of women who weren't as lucky. The difference? Awareness, access to care, and early intervention. According to the American Heart Association, every 80 seconds, a woman in the United States dies from cardiovascular disease. That's more than one life lost every single minute. But did you know that 80% of heart disease cases are preventable? That's right, 80%. That means small changes like eating healthier, exercising, and managing stress can save lives.
Hi, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and I'm committed to making sure that more women survive and strive. Please join me in raising funds for the American Heart Association to support life-saving research, because every heartbeat is worth fighting for. In honor of Women's History Month, let's spread awareness and help women recognize the warning signs before it's too late.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
The James Cooley Show. It's your life. That's right.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I'm sitting here having a conversation with Dr. Selené Jo Ward, and it's a courageous conversation because it would probably be tough for me to be able to convey some of the things that happened to you, and knowing that some of it probably could have been prevented if you went with your gut the first time. But sometimes we find ourselves in that situation. But I do believe that God always plan a way for us, and it's always a lesson learned in that. So I
It really is. And it really makes you start paying more attention to your health care as well, because a lot of times we know we should be eating better, we should be doing better, and we wait till something goes wrong, and all of a sudden we want organic this and this, that, and the other, and I'm going to be holistic. If we're going to treat our bodies right, we got to start treating our bodies right now, not when something goes left.
Oh, most definitely. So before the commercial break, you talked about, or you mentioned to Dr. James that so much was going on that, you did not confront this particular individual about what happened. Do you have any regrets regarding that? Well, in hindsight.
Well, the funny thing is, funny, not funny. But I was so angry after that. I said, you know what? If I ever see him in the street, I'm going to jump up on him. And I happened to be at work. And I kept looking at this man. And I swear to you, I kept getting closer and closer because I'm like, no, that couldn't possibly, he couldn't be here. I really thought my eyes was playing tricks on me. And he turned around and he looked just like him. And I was so angry. And he said, hi, young lady, do I know you? I said, are you kidding me? And when I looked at his tag, his brother's name, this operator on me name was Alan. His name was Alfred. Would you believe that was his twin brother? Oh, and they were both doctors.
Wow. That is crazy.
And yes, that was crazy. And there are parts of me that do regret not pursuing it. Even after I knew the time was I didn't want to waste my time and go through all of that after the statute of limitation was already passed. Oh. But I'm like, I don't regret focusing on making sure my life was intact and I was good. Because that's where I put my focus more so than trying to come for him. Because I'm like, if he messed up with me, there's no way possible he didn't mess up with somebody else. And I pray it was caught. I pray it was caught.
Wow.
I did make a complaint. All I did was make a complaint, but it was after the fact. But I did make a complaint and put it in there. Whether it fell on deaf ears or not, it was sent.
Did you go to like a support group for people, not only about what you went through in your health journey, but also were there resources available as far as patients who underwent procedures that were not necessary? Or did you talk to anyone about that, whether it's a support group?
The support group that I was in wasn't a very supportive support group. And I tried to talk about a lot of different things because I noticed a lot of us had different experiences and most not good. And I see a lot of people ended up getting closed mouthed about it. But it kind of fell on deaf ears in that group. And I started just, tuning into my spiritual shows and reading different things. I started just channeling it from a different way because that kind of turned me off. Because it didn't seem like anybody really, they seemed like they showed up because they had to show up.
Yes. Do you believe that, second opinions are so important and, people should listen to their gut? Do you believe that sometimes people put too much faith and confidence in the credentials of a specific medical professional that maybe they feel that they will offend them if they said, I'm going to look for him or her, or if they feel like if they say that I'm going to look for a second opinion? What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are this, because I've experienced that with a different situation. There are some doctors. That's why I like to have a relationship with the doctors that I'm dealing with, if I can, and I go and I ask as many questions now. There's people who, if they feel like they have a rapport for you, they'll feel like they're human, they're people. Well, why would you want to check somewhere else and when you've had this rapport for so long? But it's like, I just want to make sure I'm good. I think you can actually have a third. I think people should go as far as having a third doctor even look and be the tiebreaker, because sometimes different people get different readings. With my mammogram is not what showed that I had breast cancer. They went behind that and did an ultrasound, and that's what picked it up.
Yeah. And it's also important. I know you mentioned you could possibly do a third opinion. You can do as many opinions as you want, as you desire, that makes you feel comfortable. And you can also do your own research. And yes, I always say you are the best health advocate for yourself. You know what is right for you, whether you want to do surgery or not, even if this didn't happen, just different things. And everyone is different. Some people try holistic medicine or whatever they feel comfortable with. And other people go with the surgeon's recommendation. So
I actually tried to do both. I tried to.
Oh, Dr. Selena, you're freezing up.
It was kind of late in the game to just jump in there. Like I said, for anybody else, it's kind of late to just start being late, Sally, now, but better late than never. I just switched up what I was doing and how my intake.
Do you believe there are certain safeguards that someone who has been diagnosed with breast cancer should implement regarding the recommendation that they do have surgery, besides the second, third, or fourth opinion? What safeguards do you believe that, in your opinion, should take place regarding the doctor recommending surgery?
You know what I found out that is very important? Knowing your family history. Knowing your family history means a lot, because I'm like, it takes the guessing work and a lot of test work out of the story that they have to try to figure out what this is coming from, because myself and my mom are the only two people on her side that ever had breast cancer, and we had two totally different types. So the information that I was giving them was connecting some things, because I knew my mom. I started asking both of them the history. Knowing the history makes a lot of sense when they're trying to figure out how to fix you.
Yes. And also doing self-examinations. Just because you don't have a history of breast cancer, women are still required to do self-examinations. And there's
Yeah.
one thing I think the audience should know. Men can have breast cancer as well. So it's not
Yeah.
just women. Women are predominantly the ones diagnosed, but men can have breast cancer as well. And
Absolutely.
and you know, for the information towards women is that, okay, maybe you don't know how to do a self-examination. Speak to your doctor about that and they will show you. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I can also recommend that the doctor will always show you. They usually are supposed to have a pamphlet that they can give you so you can take home and follow the instructions on how to do it yourself. Also, I'm an ambassador for AfroShare.org. It's a cancer support group, and there is so much information that they have for men and women. As far as every type of breast cancer, any kind of cancer, any type of woman's cancer, they have so much information to go on there that you can follow, you can print it out. And I'm like, to keep these things, I tell these people, keep them around, and because you never know, maybe your friend might need it, maybe it won't be you. But having the information is so, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
You know, it's interesting. There was, and you know her, there was this celebrity who passed away recently because the misinformation and the myths about getting a mammogram. And that, you know, okay, mammograms may cause this, et cetera, et cetera. When it comes to your health, and there's more to talk about this, but what did you learn about? Did you experience any myths regarding getting mammograms along the way? And if so, what were there?
I actually have always considered them a torture chamber. I never knew why it had to be done that way. Why is it so painful? Why? And especially after having breast cancer and having the reconstruction surgery, it hurts different now, but it still hurts nonetheless. And I'm like, it makes you not want to do it. But hey, I just have to go through that pain to find out the information that I need to find out. And I also go and have an ultrasound right behind it to get both of them out of the way, because one thing will pick up one thing, the other one picks up something different. So together, you never know what they're going to find. I want to know every avenue you can to let me know what I'm looking like.
We got 2 minutes before the break. What is the most important advice would you give to women out there that discover that they have a little lump or a bump? In your case, you thought it was a mosquito bite. What advice would you give them for them to go and get it checked out regardless of what the situation is?
So simple. Follow your gut and let your fear take you to the doctor. Let your fear go and check that out, because the more you play the mind games, the worse it gets. And even Google could be your worst friend, because you find 1,000 different answers on Google. Go to the doctor, let them check you out and see what it is that's going on. You got to push past the fear if you want to be here.
Exactly. And we'll talk tomorrow with the amazing Dr. Selené Jo Ward on this topic, Help Me, Help You, regarding a health journey and lessons learned and information she wants to convey to all.
Yes.
So we're gonna take a station break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna get off into all of that information. I tell you, I see we got over 6,000, almost 7,000 people watching on YouTube alone. I know that you got some questions out there. If you want to be part of this great conversation, all you have to do is just go to the comments. Ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? And everything that you do.
It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. James J.C. Cooley. Yeah. Come on.
Hello. You guys caught me dancing. You caught me dancing. Yes,
Me too.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. And just sitting here having a conversation with Dr. Selené Jo Ward. And she is, I tell you, she put out information that especially all women should understand, men as well. Because just like Michelle had brought up earlier, that there are cases where men have breast cancer. I think we had somebody on the show about a month ago or something like that, Michelle, that talked about that. But anytime that you sense a problem, just like what Dr. Selena is saying, you have to get rid of that fear. Just go get it checked out.
Mm-hmm.
Go get it checked out. You can fear later on, but go get that checked out right then and there. With that being said, I'm gonna turn it back over to Dr. Cooley. But I tell you what, I see a lot of people watching the show. You know you want to ask the question. You know you do. Come on now. You know you do. You want to ask the question. Dr. Don Smith, I see you watching. Ask the question. You got about 3 or 4. And a lot of other folks are watching as well. Dr. King.
Questions now.
Andrea, Marsha, you're watching. I mean, I see you guys watching. Ask the questions. Anyway, Dr. Cooley, I'm turning it back over to you.
Thank you, James. So, Dr. Ward, how has this changed? How has this changed your focus in life, especially when it comes to your health? How has this experience changed you? Everything that encompasses it, the diagnosis, the surgery, the healing, and how has that changed you as a person?
I will say it took a lot of my faith away in doctors. It changed my view because I'm going to you for help. And you just cutting me knowing good and well that this is nothing that you're specialized in. And you just kept going and kept going. So it took a little bit at my trust issues with doctor are different. That's why majority of the doctors I've had 15 years or better. Mm-hmm. And I try to hold on to that relationship and I talk to them. And I let them know everything that's going on with me. And they get back to me and tell me everything that comes through on their reports. But it's good to have a relationship with them and talk to these. They are people. And these are the ones you're putting your life in their hands. You got to have some kind of communication to know what's going on with them. So you got to have that kind of some type of rapport and know who you're dealing with.
And it's good to ask questions. No, we don't understand all the medical jargon out there. We don't. But they need to break it down and explain it to their patients in terms that they will understand. Do you believe? I believe some patients don't ask the important questions. If, for example, if you're going to prescribe something for me, what are the side effects? I know pharmacists are supposed to go over that with you, but why do I need to take this? Is there another route? I'm just going to put it out there, that it's a business. prescription drugs are a business, and yes, help people, medical practice, healthcare, it's still a business. And
Correct.
you help people. We want people to go to the doctor to get a checkup, to get their annual, to get their physical. If something's not right, to go to your doctor, regardless of what experience you have. So that is still so very important. But you have to ask questions. I remember I went to this doctor a long time ago when I was back home living in Queens. And, I explained my symptoms. This is a new doctor. He prescribed something for me. I took one pill and I was like, this doctor really didn't listen to what was I saying. Why am I taking this? I flushed it down the toilet and I never went back to them again.
Right.
And I just feel that every patient, every person, everybody, if you don't have a good feeling about your conversation or about what the medical professional is telling you, maybe the vibe isn't right. And they could be telling you the truth, but you need to be with someone who's taking the time to speak with you, doesn't dismiss your symptoms, has a rapport with you. What are your thoughts on that?
You are absolutely correct. Because when I got to Sloan Kettering, when I tell you the doctor talk, he broke it down like a fifth grader to me, no matter how many times I asked. And he explained it a different way, and he even drew what he was trying to explain to me. And he was just taking his time. And I'm like, it made such a difference. And it actually made me remember the things that I wanted to ask. And then I remembered to look in my pad and ask, because you have to ask questions or not. They're just going off some regular stuff and they're going to prescribe what they prescribe for anybody else. And it may not even be what you need, but they're so used to doing that. You got to open your mouth and say, yeah, I have a headache, but this is also all my eye is twitching, or is this, that, or the other. You have to say it so they know everything that's going on. Or else they'll prescribe something for you and it might trigger something else.
Exactly. And you have to be honest with your doctor. You have to tell them everything. Maybe there's certain habits you've picked up, whether it's smoking, maybe it's, I don't know, banging your head against the pillow really hard at night because you couldn't sleep. I mean, you have to be honest so they get a full holistic assessment of
what's so funny. I used to go to the doctor and I figured that when I used to smoke cigarettes, I said, I'm not going to say anything. And so finally she asked me, she said, do you think that I don't know that you smoke? I said, well, you never really asked me, but I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad I dropped that habit.
Yeah, the doctor
they need to know. They really do need to know because it affects everything.
You know what? You have to be your own advocate. There was this show I used to watch. I don't know if you heard of it. It's called Mystery Diagnosis. It's on.
I've heard of that.
Oh my gosh, that's such an amazing show. I'm going to tell you why I mentioned it. I mentioned it because it showed stories, real life stories of people who for years or months, whether it was them or their family members, who be going through a medical issue and the doctor they were going to just, gave them this, gave them that. It didn't help. So they just got fed up and went for a second, a third opinion. And they finally found that one doctor who was able to break it down and to solve it. One thing about that show, it stresses about being your own advocate. And, it's unfortunate how many people have had unnecessary surgeries performed on them. It's bad enough when you get a diagnosis, but it's worse when, I don't know how many people out there has had surgery before. Surgery in recovery and post-op is painful and it's uncomfortable. It really is. So post-op, Dr. Ward, and I know you did the corrective surgery and everything. How was your mind? How did you deal with the post-op and the correction of what that previous doctor did? How did you get your mind wrapped around, I can't believe this is happening. I'm going through another surgery to correct a surgery that wasn't necessary. Can you kind of go into that?
Well, what I can tell you is I am still going through issues with this breast, which I still have to have another surgery. Because of the surgeries I've had before, it seems I have these 3 huge lumps of scar tissue that are interfering in the work they did with the reconstruction. So now I have to have that looked at as well. And I'm like, I'm just so, I want to say over it. I'm tired. And had I just made the right decision in the first place, I know I wouldn't be going through this. But I mean, it is what it is, and I am where I'm at.
Mhm.
But I'm like, I'm just tired of getting cut. But I know after this time, it's gonna be whatever it is. But it's very uncomfortable. So that's the only reason why I need them to remove the scar tissue.
Well, and I could see how that could be uncomfortable. And for women who've experienced that, whether it was a necessary surgery or it's a reconstruction, that journey, that I wouldn't say journey, that experience is very uncomfortable. And I also want to also mention about mammograms when you mentioned in the last segment how uncomfortable they can be. Uncomfortable it is, but necessary it is. A couple of minutes of uncomfortability will save your life.
Yes. Yes. We've all been uncomfortable before. We can get past it.
Yeah, it's like, drawing. I hate to have my blood drawn because I hate needles. I'll do it. It's uncomfortable, but you do what you got to do. You want to be here for yourself and for your family.
Yes. Just the legacy must continue.
We got to take a station break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk a lot more about this. And I tell you, it's not too late. Great conversation. If you want to be part of this great conversation, all you have to do, just go to the platform that you're watching us on. Ask any question that you might have. I promise you, we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
VCU from USA. Welcome to Zanzibar. Zanzibar. Habibi. Welcome to Zanzibar. VCU.
Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Confidence. Commit with what? Confidence. And everything that you
At Viridian Christian University, we believe education is more than just a degree. It's a pathway to a purpose-driven life. Whether you're advancing your career, pursuing a passion, or building a new future, VCU's 100% online programs give you the flexibility to learn on your terms, anywhere, anytime. With expert faculty, personalized mentorship, and a faith-centered approach, you'll gain the skills, knowledge, and leadership you need to make a lasting impact. VCU offers bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degrees, each designed to empower you for success in today's fast-changing world. Join a global community of believers, learners, and leaders. Ready to start your journey? Viridian Christian University, transforming lives, empowering futures. Visit us at ViridianChristianUniversity.com. That's ViridianChristianUniversity.com.
A Black Man's Point of View is the newest Amazon.com #1 release and bestseller book from author Dr. James J.C. Cooley, featuring the perspective from 11 other contributing authors. In A Black Man's Point of View, Dr. James Cooley unpacks his thoughts and personal experiences about the challenges, stereotypes, and feelings of self-worth that many black men face today due to a 400-year ancestry rooted in slavery and colonization. Yet, how so many black men move forward despite this history. Most importantly, A Black Man's Point of View conveys that all men, regardless of race, creed, or color, are capable of love, respect, and dignity. Described as a map to a greater life from the heart of a man who's experienced life's misfortune and harsh conditions, James shows us how beliefs, convictions, and a healthy mentality can help propel a life worth living. A must-read for all. Order your copy of A Black Man's Point of View by author Dr. James J.C. Cooley today from Amazon.com or wherever books are sold.
The James Cooley Show. It's your life. That's right.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. First of all, Dr. Selena, I want to commend you for coming on the show. I want to invite you back if your schedule permits, because this information is so great, and I think we probably need to do part 2 one day. So.
I would love to do that. Thank you for having me. And it took me so long to be able to talk about it because I couldn't talk about it for a long time. And I'm so glad that I have the opportunity where I can really talk to people and let them know, because that's a lot to hold in and not share. And maybe somebody else was like me and they wanted to let it out, and I gave them a little ounce of freedom so they can just say what they need to say and go and take care of this problem. And closed mouth does not get fed. You got to open your mouth.
I like that. Closed mouth will not get fed. So, Dr. Selena, how are you feeling today? I mean, you went through this and you recovered. Can you tell our viewers and our listeners what it feels like to have went through tragedy and came out and believing in the Lord again, and believing in some doctors, I wouldn't say all, again?
Yes. I'm glad I was able to get that back. And I got to tell you, my praying is what got that to happen, because I'm like, I know it was God that got me through that, because it was a lot. It was a lot. And just when I thought I was going to bust at the seams and I couldn't handle it, everything came through. But I'm like, to today, I'm still in pain. It's like I said, I still have that issue now because of all the scar tissue. But I'd rather be here and just dealing with what I got. I knew what it was coming with because of the way it happened. So I'm like, I just got to deal with it and roll with the punches. There's too much stuff on my to-do list that I have to take care of to let that get in the way. I got work to do.
Well, and it's important. Social media is great, and the internet is great, but it's important, I guess, to not make yourself more fearful if you're going through any medical challenge by looking at what someone else went through on social media posts, because that would just really mess up your mind. It really would, and you just don't know who's posting these things,
and everybody's body is different.
Everybody's body is definitely different. And, these home remedy things that people can use, and you really have to be smart about that.
You know what the thing is? If you notice, anytime you go to a doctor, the first thing they do is ask you to fill out a form telling them about you. Nobody knows your body better than you. So when you get there, tell them everything you need to tell them. That's why they ask you the questions. So they have something to go off, because you have to be the one to tell them. So tell them everything.
Yes. Audience, in that patient questionnaire may seem long, but it's important for your health. Definitely. So Dr. Ward, I know you mentioned you're going through a lot, physical pain, uncomfortability, and things that you still need to address. But currently, what lifestyle habits have you changed that you used to do? Or maybe it could be foods, it could be, what you used to drink, or, exercise. Anything have you changed?
It was a little bit of everything. I did change the way I was eating. And plus I had a lot to do with the job that I had, because there was once I had a job that the hours rotated every 2 weeks. So your eating habits change up so quick. So I'm like, I had to change my eating habits. I finally, thank you, Lord, stopped smoking. And it's so funny. I created an excuse for myself. Everybody used to say, didn't you have breast cancer? I said, smoking is lung cancer. Mind your business. But you know what? That was being ignorant, because I had no business smoking anyway. None whatsoever. So I did stop smoking. I started drinking more water, and I do exercise more. And it doesn't have to be a lot. It can be a little day by day instead of a lot into one day. You can just add a little bit more on, just add one more the next day, and you can get through it.
And it's interesting. Exercise for everyone does not include going to the gym. It can mean just walking around your neighborhood, or just buying some dumbbells or whatever you want, a stretch band, and doing it at home, or buying an elliptical, whatever is good for you. A lot of people don't like the gym. That's great. A lot of people like
and they don't need it.
Huh?
They don't need it.
Well,
they can walk around the neighborhood. There are parks. There are neighborhoods you can walk around. You can even have a buddy walk with you. There are so many other options for people who don't want to go to the gym.
Exactly. I have friends like that. One guy, he just loves to hike, and he's in great shape. And he eats a lot. I'm like, why you burn off all that? I could tell by hiking all the time. But that's his hobby. Clears his mind. So besides your faith and prayer, what other habits have you incorporated in your life currently, or hobbies that clear your mind? Whether it's knitting, crocheting, it could be anything, whatever. Reading, a good book. So what have you done?
Love to travel.
Mm-hmm.
I have an interior decorating company. Oh my goodness, there's nothing. That's my passion right there, interior decorating. I absolutely love it. My background is in art. I went to college for art and advertising. I've always had some type of art thing going on. And I just had to be involved in something so I can change things up and do it different than anybody else. So it's always been something for me to get out there and then try something new and be creative. But I'm like, I do that, and that's what keeps me busy. I don't have time to really think and focus on, oh my goodness, am I going to die? Am I going to get through all this? I'm like, look, let me just go ahead and go and handle my agenda and do what God told me I can do, and stop worrying about the rest. Because if I'm going to pray about it, I shouldn't worry about it. So I started practicing that much more often.
Amen.
I like that saying. I like that. If I'm a prayer about it, I shouldn't worry about it. We got about a minute and a half left in the show. What is 3 quick departing messages that you want our viewers to get from this great discussion?
Listen to your body. If you're not going to remember it, write it down. And check on your family history.
Amen to that. And I want to add one more thing. For those, it could be men or females who do have a partner, their partner can examine them as well. And if your partner is saying, hey, this doesn't feel right, I did not notice it before, take heed and listen and get it checked out.
Well, doctors, Selené Jo Ward, again, just like I want to bring you back on again in a few months. If
yes, I'm more than willing. Thank you so much for having me and letting me share my truth. I appreciate that.
I'd like to thank Dr. Michelle Cooley for always putting together absolutely fantastic shows, especially this one right here. I'd like to thank our viewers and our listeners out there for tuning in to the James Cooley Show Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and also on Sundays on the radio KCBQ out of San Diego at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Case Guide out of Dallas Fort Worth at 6 p.m. And also on Spotify, all the other platforms. You got us on 84 different platforms. So always dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. It's your life, and we'll see you then.
Doctor.